Hi everyone, Bitcoin has hit an all-time high of $31,400 US. That is unbelievable. We see a $40,000, $50,000, $100,000 Bitcoin. Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And if you're new around here, you probably don't know me. I'm Simon Johnson and I help people build a passive income from investing in cryptocurrency. Now, this is a emergency live stream. I've just quickly thrown it together. It's about 2:44 in the morning where I am in Australia. That's why I've got the bags under my eyes. Now, we are live on YouTube, Facebook, DLive, Theta, and much, much more. So if you've got any questions, leave a comment wherever you are. I'll get to it quickly in the live stream. Now, as I said to you, Bitcoin, $31,450. I'm excited. This is absolutely fantastic news. Now, the interesting thing, I wanted to mention a few things that people haven't realized yet. This has only just happened in the past few hours. Okay, so it's still going to hit the news. I wanted to make a few observations. Bitcoin has jumped from 19,000, about 19,800, short of 20K, to 31K in just 2 weeks, 14 days. That's massive. We haven't seen that before. That is absolutely huge. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention is that maybe I'll mention their names. JP Morgan. JP Morgan in early December described Bitcoin as overbought at 19,000. I've got their press release, press comments here. I'll show them to you in just a second. So people are going to be asking themselves, they're going to be looking at this new number as they wake up in the US and around the world, as I go to bed. These guys, the rest of the world wakes up, and they're going to see this, and they're going to go, oh my goodness me, what's going to happen now? Who knows? But I think personally, and this is not financial advice, I think we're due for a correction. I think we're due for a 20 to 30% correction very, very soon. Now, what could that mean? Well, could it go to 26K? Could it go back to 30? Could it even, worst case scenario, dive further than that? Well, we're going to see. It's going to happen. So the only other risk that I can see is if something catastrophic happens, like there's an exchange hack or a regulator, a government comes out and says, hey, enough's enough. Could we dive back to something like a 14K? Maybe. But I think it's a pretty big, a pretty tall order, but it's certainly happened before. We've seen 20K back to, 6K, 4K, if I remember. I'm going, forgive me, it's like nearly 3 a.m. and I'm thinking about these numbers. Now, I just want to show you a couple of little charts. This is an interesting one. This is the Bitcoin chart from the month. And as you can see, we've gone in here. So I should have refreshed this just a little while ago. But we've hit 31. And just in December, a week or so before Christmas, we were sitting at 19 and a half, and then we got up to about 20, 22. So that's a pretty impressive jump. So could we be at the start of something that's absolutely parabolic? Yes, we could. Yes, it could go even further. It could go to 50K. It could certainly go to 40K. But I think we're due for a correction. If history tells me, or teaches me anything, it's never to underestimate the volatility of the market. So when people are jumping in, this reminds me of perhaps December, January 2017, 2018, that other peak, that other bubble, as people like to say. That's what now reminds me of. It's big. Do I see a crash coming? No. Do I see a correction coming? Yes. So let's just have a look back at that chart. Here's that JP Morgan comment. In the short term, there's a good chance that Bitcoin prices have overshot, and gold is due for a recovery. Interesting. And that was at 19K. So there you have it. Now, I want to tell you something very cool. This is amazing. I had to like triple check this when I saw it. There's I don't know what you'd call this person. I'm just going to call them a guy on Twitter. Some people might say, I don't know, trader, speculator, analyst, whatever you like to call him. Plan B. I'm going to show you this little interesting bit of information. You won't believe this. As I said, I had to check it a few times. Now, this tweet is from September 11, 2019. And Plan B, this guy predicted, based on some modeling, and you can Google some of this, feel free to have a look around. He predicted a $31,000 Bitcoin right now. And he predicted that back in September 2019 as per this modeling. Now, the other interesting thing is he's come out with a new chart. See that? 2020 closed 29K, next dots, ... And if you have a look here, so we're between, see this mark here, 10,000, 100,000. We're looking 2021, based on what's happened before, based on some history. He's saying, or my interpretation of this graph is saying, $100,000. That's one hell of a jump. That's one hell of a jump. So have a look at that little graph. As I said, it's Plan B on Twitter. His Twitter handle is at 100 trillion USD. I'll just go back to that graph so you can check how that's spelt. So have a look at some of that stuff. Now, I don't know the person, so before anyone accuses me of bias shilling anything, don't know the guy, just saw the graph, saw some reports, and I went, wow, this is very, very interesting. So I would love to hear from you guys. What is your prediction on Bitcoin? Where do you think it's going to go in 2021 and why? Feel free to leave a comment down below. I do read them all myself. And as I said, this is a live. So if you're not catching me live because you're asleep, that's fine. You can catch me on the replay and I'll pick it up in the morning and I'll answer them all for you. Now, if there's anything else you'd like to see, I'm happy to do a video on it. So if you've got any other questions and comments and things, feel free to chime in. Even more so if you're a beginner to this, because I know reading some of this stuff is quite daunting. So for those people who are looking at this huge number, 31,000, and they're thinking to themselves, particularly beginners, right? Particularly people who have not invested in Bitcoin before, they're looking at this and they're going, oh my God, I have to get in. Right? They're probably looking at this and going, should I invest right now? If you're asking yourself, will the Bitcoin price drop again? Valid question. I've done a video on that, so you can check it out. I'll leave a link to it up there. I'm not going to give away any secrets. You got to watch the video. So, look, if this has been valuable, feel free to leave a like, or better still, subscribe to the channel, because I do these videos every other day. I'm trying to do lives every day, and putting together news and current events is takes quite a lot of time, as you can imagine. So go and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.